realized you had the wrong idea about someone. I was 9 when Thomas moved in next door to us. He had just lost custody of his 2 young daughters, and as soon as my stepdad saw him, he rushed over to me. That man there is a creep, he said, grazing my lower back. I'll have to start doing things to protect you, sweetheart. He then gave me this weird smile, almost as if he liked that a supposed predator moved in next to us. That night he installed a security camera to watch Thomas, but the security camera pointed at my bedroom. He started these nightly safety checks where he'd come into my room after Mom fell asleep. He'd sit on my bed and explain in way too much detail what men like Thomas supposedly wanted to do. The first time I tried telling Mom about the weird feeling Jeff gave me, she was folding laundry in the living room. Mom, Jeff keeps coming into my room at night and, oh honey, she cut me off without even looking up. Jeff loves you like his own daughter. But Mom, the camera he put up is pointing at my window. She finally looked at me, but her face was annoyed, not concerned. Stop being dramatic. Jeff knows what he's doing. He manages security for his business. Plus, he's just protecting you from that creep next door who looks at you all the time. She then gave me this awkward half hug and told me to go do homework. But there was something weird about what she said. Thomas never even looked at me or any kids. When the school bus stopped at our corner, he'd go back inside. When families walked by, he'd turn away. But there was something he did. Whenever Jeff took me out alone for ice cream or to the park, Thomas would suddenly need to walk his dog. When Jeff set up the kiddie pool and bought me this tiny bikini that made me uncomfortable, Thomas picked that exact moment to wash his car. Jeff got worse after that. The tickle fights lasted too long. He insisted on giving me baths because Mom worked late. Everything exploded the day Jeff cornered me in the garage. Mom was at work and he'd been drinking beer all afternoon. You're becoming such a pretty girl, he said, putting his hands on my shoulders and pushing me against the wall. Let me show you something special. I couldn't move. I couldn't scream. All those talks about stranger danger and Thomas being dangerous spun in my head, but Jeff's breath smelled like beer and his hands were squeezing too tight. Sorry to bother you. Thomas stood in the garage doorway. My cat got out. Orange tabby. Mind if I check in here? Jeff's whole face changed instantly. His hands dropped and he put on his friendly neighbor smile. No cat here, Thomas. You should leave. But Thomas stepped inside anyway. I definitely saw him run this way. Let me just check behind those boxes real quick. I said leave. Jeff's voice got sharp. Just need to find my cat, Thomas said calmly, not moving. I slipped past Jeff and ran inside while they stared at each other. That night Mom and Jeff sat me down for a talk. They said Thomas was trying to destroy our family, that I should never go near him again, and that I should always trust my stepdad because he wants what's best for me. I didn't believe a word though, because all I could think about was how Thomas saved me. So the next day when I found Thomas walking his dog, the words just spilled out of me. Jeff does things, he touches me, and I know, Thomas said quietly. I've been documenting everything. He then took me to the police station to report it. But when we walked in, things didn't go our way at all. Instead of the police officers listening to a child telling them that their stepdad was touching her, they laughed. They looked at Thomas and told him, stop manipulating this young girl. Jeff Morrison coaches softball. He runs a charity thrift store. He'd never do that. You on the other hand, it seems fitting given your past why you're here with this little girl. I tried to speak up, to defend Thomas and explain my truth, but a woman officer actually let